Join me as I dive into the controversy and try to unpack Trump's shocking remarks on Gaza that left Arab nations reeling. Just a few days ago, in the midst of rising tensions between Israel and Palestine, Trump made some comments that sent shockwaves across the Middle East. Specifically, he declared his support for Israel's right to defend itself in the wake of escalating violence in Gaza, and that has left many Arab nations scrambling to respond. As we speak, the full implications of this move are still unfolding, and that's precisely what I'll be exploring in this video. Within hours of Trump's statement, Arab nations began to respond with outrage and concern. The reactions ranged from stern condemnation to diplomatic jabs, and it's clear that Trump's words have touched a raw nerve in the region. Qatar, for instance, was quick to condemn Trump's flagrant bias in a statement on its foreign ministry website. Egypt, meanwhile, warned that the cycle of violence and hate had no winner. The Arab League, as expected, took a strong stance against the aggression and the use of force, saying it would only compound the crisis. And behind closed doors, some diplomats are venting their frustration with U.S. policy in the region. Prominent leaders have since queued up to voice their disapproval. Turkish President Erdogan condemned the hostile attitude towards the Palestinian people. Jordan's King Abdullah II warned of the devastating consequences of such unilateral actions, and Iran's supreme leader called the U.S. and Israel an aggressive duo. Organizations like the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian Refugees, also known as UNRWA, say they regret the U.S. stance, arguing that it will only exacerbate the situation. However, in understanding the backlash against Trump's remarks, one needs to appreciate the complexities at play. Israel and Palestine have a centuries-long history of conflict, and the pain and anger on both sides is palpable. For Arab nations, the existential threat posed by Israel's occupation is personal, and Trump's insensitive comments have rubbed salt into these open wounds. As a result, reactions have been intense. On the streets of Gaza, protests have erupted, with massive crowds calling for resistance against Israel's occupation. In the world of diplomacy, ambassadors have been summoned, and diplomatic channels have gone into overdrive. The stakes, as a result, are extremely high. From Cairo to Tehran and Ankara, governments are grappling to contain the fallout and prevent a full-scale war from breaking out in the Middle East. The urgency cannot be overstated. Trump's comments will ultimately set a dangerous precedent, and Arab nations know it. The U.S. president has shown little willingness to listen to Palestinian concerns, and instead has largely echoed Israeli talking points. This lack of nuance has only reinforced the perception that the U.S. is no longer an honest broker in the region, and that's a catastrophic blow to the peace process. As events unfold, the consequences of Trump's words will be far-reaching. The Middle East is more polarized than ever, and the chasm between Israel and Palestine seems to be growing by the day. The response from Arab nations has sent a clear message to Washington. There's no room for complacency here. This is a matter of life and death for millions of people, and world leaders better understand the gravity of the situation. So what does the future hold for the Middle East? The prospects look bleak, and the international community is bracing itself for the worst. Will Trump's remarks be the death knell for the peace process, or can Arab nations manage to salvage the situation? As the dust settles, one thing is clear. The stakes have never been higher, and the world is watching. What do you think about Trump's remarks on Gaza? Do you agree with his stance on Israel's right to defend itself, or do you believe he's only made things worse? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to check out more videos related to international diplomacy if you want to stay informed on the latest developments. Thanks for watching.